Season 4 has officially been out for a few weeks, and I explored every single location on the island and discovered tons of hidden secrets Epic Games tried to hide. So here's 67 secrets in Fortnite Season 4. Don't forget to use code HOMEGAMESYT in the item shop. Subscribe to the channel to help us on our journey to 4.73 million subscribers. And it all starts off right over here at the brand new OXR HQ. There's a secret mythic weapon that I'll show you how to get in a second. But first, something very special is also located here. As you're able to find 3 new NPCs added for this season, one being Agent Patch the Panda, another being Onyx Winter, and finally Ripslade, who appear to be planning something very, very special. As you're able to see, they're surrounding a 3D hologram of the island, as well as this massive whiteboard showing all of the information they've collected so far. Remember this, because it'll be very, very important here in a second. Anyways, the most important character here is Lieutenant Ripslade. You remember that super early teaser of Ripslade that released a few days before the season, showing him holding the new minigun. In the background, we were able to see a massive ship of some sort, also located here at the new OXR HQ. You're able to find a bunch of what appears to be helipads. These pads are actually where the new OXR ships will spawn later in the season, which we were actually to get an early sneak peek at in this season's trailer. It looks to basically function the exact same way as the old Choppa vehicle. Back to OXR's whiteboard, because even though there's not much new information on here right now, coming up here shortly inside of this season's story quest, we're gonna go on to discover something very, very important. Actually being another location added for Season 4, being this massive block located right outside of Demon's Debris. Turns out this is basically the exact same spot that Daigo got yeeted into by the tentacle during the live event. However, I don't think they're actually connected in any way. Instead, this massive thing is known as a monolith, which is essentially a large stone serving as a monument of some sort. Now this thing and its shape should look very, very familiar, as it's not the first time we've had something like this in Fortnite. It should remind you of Doom's Forge from Chapter 5 Season 4, which don't forget was the thing responsible not just for bringing in Mephisto from the underworld, but also starting that year's Fortnitemares event, where our reality literally merged with the underworld's. At first, everyone thought it was tied to the new A-rank vaults. You're able to see the lead point of the triangle is literally pointed directly at it, initially leading people to think that it was somehow tied to the Bug Army, and that they would be using it to fight against the OXR faction, while other people assumed it was set up by the same person who crashed the plane that was originally at this location when Chapter 6 first released. Both of those theories were quickly debunked. The community's next theory is actually tied to a popular sci-fi movies that released in the 60s called 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a monolith that literally looks the exact same, played a major role in that movie, was set up by an unknown alien force. And while the monolith from that movie and the one we have here in Fortnite do share many similarities, they're actually not the same. You're able to see the top of the monoliths are shaped differently. So then, the community started theorizing that it's actually tied to the upcoming Simpsons season. The same black monolith has also appeared in that show a few different times. However, this was just the Simpsons referencing the monolith from the iconic Space Odyssey movie, meaning the monolith here in Fortnite likely has no connection to the Simpsons. But one thing's for sure, whether or not it's a Space Odyssey reference is irrelevant, Epic Games without a doubt took inspiration from the movie when designing this thing. Once those theories were debunked, the community then discovered their best theory yet, and started discussing the possibility of this actually being tied to a live concert event with the artist known as David Guetta, as there's a tour he's doing literally called the Monolith Tour, featuring a monolith that obviously looks more similar to the monolith here on the Chapter 6 island, any of the theories that we just talked about. However, you're able to see the shape of the monolith isn't actually the same at all. The one here on the Fortnite island actually appears to have a small pyramid at the top, while the one from the David Guetta tour has a flat top. So if the monolith isn't for a live David Guetta concert event, then what is it for? Well, I think I figured it out, and it starts off with this leak, but the monolith itself is tied to a live event codenamed Stride Mice. Associated with the Stride Mice file, you'll find a bunch of descriptors mentioning explicit lyrics and inappropriate content, which are warnings only typically included in a playlist that is associated with music, like we often see inside of the Fortnite Festival mode, once again pointing to the possibility of a David Guetta live concert. That's nothing compared to the biggest hidden secret on the Fortnite island, which we're just about to get to. But first, you remember that secret mythic weapon I talked about earlier in the video? Well, here we go, drop it into a game where I'm gonna show you what it is right now. However, trust me, it's not what you think. It all starts off right over here at the brand new OXR HQ location that we talked about a bunch already. Oh dear, hold on, I'm not the only person going for the new mythic. Gotta get a weapon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, sweet, we got a chest. Come on, give me something good, please. All right, I'll take that, I guess. Oh dear, is there another enemy here too? Hold on, boys. I gotta drink some shields. We don't want to get eliminated. All right, here he is. Here's one. Definitely a bot. Oh, there's the other one. Another bot. How you doing, buddy? Get out of here, mate. Anyways, check this out. If you make your way inside of one of the main OXR HQ buildings, you're able to find a bunch of these different weapon stands where you're able to purchase unique weapons with your gold. However, obviously, as you're able to see, none of these weapons are actually mythic rarity. Instead, this mythic actually has to do with the NPC you're able to find here, being none other than one of this season's new Battle Pass skins, known as Battle Gamer May. Well, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. If we actually go up and interact with this character, you'll notice that you're not actually able to purchase a mythic weapon like you might have expected, but instead, check this out. You're actually able to ask her about the OM gloves, which are obviously her bionic arms controlled by her controller. She goes on to say they may look like toys and function like toys. The OM gloves are serious weapons, okay? Ultra dangerous, ultra fun to use, kind of glamified weapons. Point is, be careful with these things. You could hurt yourself by having too much fun. This is quite literally May teasing an upcoming mythic weapon that will be arriving later in the season. Kinda like how Big Dill teased the pump and dump with his NPC dialogue before that release. That's nothing compared to the hidden secret added at an old location that created one of the most overpowered glitches in all of Fortnite's history. And it's so overpowered you literally won't even believe it. We're dropping in game right now to showcase it. And obviously, the location I'm talking about is right over here at the Resistance base from the Galactic Battle season. Oh, and we got a bunch of enemies landing here, which is gonna make this glitch even crazier. All you're gonna want to do is pick up some weapons and a whole bunch of ammunition. Like, I mean, as much ammunition as you can get in a quick amount of time. But you don't need any heals, as we're literally gonna be invincible. Guys, check this out. Literally, all you need to do is come right here in front of the hangar doors. We were able to find this little hill that for some reason has a massive chunk missing out of it. And check this out, ladies and gentlemen. If we just crouch, we're literally able to walk inside of this area, basically turning us invisible. But wait, it gets even better. Just check this out. You're actually able to mantle on top of this thing. And if you go ahead and break this wall right in front of you like this, you're able to position your character just like this to see through the wall that you're quite literally able to shoot through. However, enemies aren't able to see you or deal any damage to you. But we're still not done yet, because if you actually drop down here into the little water area, you're literally able to build and fully explore the entire map from underneath it. We got an enemy right by me now. He's got to be right below me, man. He literally has to be. Oh, here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Come back here, buddy. Oh my goodness. No, I don't think we can shoot out of right here, man. Maybe I can. Oh my goodness. No. He's right there. Now, this glitch is super cool, but it's not nearly as cool as our next glitch that guarantees you the easiest mythic of your entire life. You have to try before Epic inevitably patches it. It all starts off right over here at the brand new Hive location. Once you get here, super quickly search one of these chests in order to get a weapon and some ammo. Once that's done, come over here to the geyser, get sent up high into the air, then land right here on top of the spire where the blue smoke is. Now, this is incredibly overpowered because, as you can see, our character is basically invisible to any players that would be looking at us. And getting the mythic is super easy. Just go ahead, destroy all these pods to start the boss fight. And once the boss spawns, you can begin eliminating it. But wait until you see how overpowered this is, because the boss literally isn't able to deal any damage to you. Quite literally giving you the easiest boss elimination ever. And no enemies are going to get in your way, as your character is pretty much invisible. Once you defeated the boss, just go ahead and jump down and land in the water below you. Mythic weapon and mythic medallion are instantly yours. But just like every other season of Fortnite we've ever gotten, this season added tons of new NPCs onto the island, for a grand total of 18. Most of these are honestly pretty useless. However, there's 4 of them that are incredibly useful, as well as 2 NPCs with a special ability we've never ever seen in Fortnite before. First useful one is the Cuddle Team Leader, located just outside of the Hive location. Then we have Meowscles, located not that far from the Cuddle Team Leader, just south of the Hive. After that, we have Peely, where Pump Power used to be located. Lastly, Triggerfish at the gas station. And each one of these characters are hireable, with special abilities, like some of them giving you heals, others ammo or pinging nearby enemies. But none of those are actually the new feature I'm talking about. Instead, the new feature is way cooler. We're dropping into a game right now to check it out, because if you actually make your way right over here to the location outside of Outpost Enclave, you're able to find 2 NPCs that aren't actually new. One obviously being Kendo, and the other being Jade. We have already seen on the Chapter 6 island numerous times before. However, this time around they actually have a new special ability. Now, the majority of the time when you land here, the NPCs aren't going to be doing anything special, and we'll just be walking around like every other NPC. That's only because their special ability only happens a very small percent of the time. Because as we all know, located here, you're able to find one of the capture point spawns. However, where that point spawns every single game is random. In order to reveal their special ability, it actually needs to spawn here. If it does, the two NPCs will be fighting aliens. But they lose, and you're actually able to revive NPCs for the very first time in Fortnite's history. Now, there's another NPC on the island that doesn't have any new features, but instead reveals something absolutely insane soon to arrive on the Fortnite island. Obviously, I'm talking about the Shadowblade Hope NPC, who has always revealed the future through her vision paintings, like we saw last season when she was teasing the arrival of the Fortress of Solitude location weeks before it released. Well, now Hope is once again back in action, as a ton of new vision paintings have appeared. What they're depicting still seems to be a mystery. Remember these though, because they'll be important in a second. And at first, the Hope NPC doesn't give us any real answers, saying, I've been painting, but can't really tell what it is. I can tell you the vibes are bad, but for now that's about it. She also goes on to say that our hardest fight is just around the corner, and this is where the paintings comes into play. In one of them, you're actually able to see tiny portals surrounding the decaying tentacle, and the next painting actually shows the bugs emerging from those portals. However, that's not nearly as important as the next two vision paintings. In the first one, you're able to see the new queen bug boss, and below it, 3 very mysterious looking golden eggs. The next one is the big one. You're able to see it not just depicting the Utopia City location, there's also something brand new right in the middle. It looks to be an even bigger bug hive that's yet to arrive. Leading theory here is the first paintings are depicting how the bugs arrived on the island, while the other two are teasing the arrival of an even larger and more powerful spirit realm creature who will be arriving in our reality soon, as every single storyline NPC implies the barrier between our reality and the spirit realms is thinning. Get ready to really have your mind blown, because at first I assumed the orb thing at Utopia City was going to be some sort of bug hive. Turns out that's likely not the case, because you remember that room at the OXR HQ we discussed earlier. It is each one of the OXR leaders surrounding a table with a hologram of the island, as well as their mysterious board containing the research on the bug army. Well, in one of the pictures on the board, we're actually able to see a version of the Hive location. However, you'll notice in the top right, you're able to spot this little circle that at first we all just assumed was supposed to be depicting the moon. Then it hit me. A few days before this season released, Mark Rain, the vice president of Epic Games, gave us his teaser word for the new season, which was orbital. As of right now, that word doesn't really connect with anything going on in season 4, meaning the orbital teaser word likely has to do with whatever this mysterious thing is, more than likely being a massive ship of some sort that'll orbit the island, hopefully meaning the return of the last reality. But the biggest secret on the island is a Simpsons teaser, which is coming up next. But first, we all know that one of the most useful items here in season 4 is the shockwave grenades, as they're incredibly useful for escaping unwanted battles, especially when you're being chased by someone with one of the new medallions. When the season first came out, they were pretty easy to get your hands on, but for now, Epic Games changed it, so your chances of finding some are lower than ever. But what if there was a guaranteed way to get unlimited shockwaves every single game? Well, there is a way, ladies and gentlemen, and it's so broken, you're not even gonna believe it. The very first thing you need to do is once you jump out of the battle bus is come on over here to the location that used to be Pumped Power. Please don't land here, mate. Please go somewhere else. All right, it looks like he's going to the gas station, which is good. But in order to pull this off, we are gonna need to find one single shockwave. Uh-oh, we got a real enemy. Come back here, buddy. All right, we got him. And there we go. We found a shockwave, meaning the most difficult part of this is done. And to get unlimited shockwaves, all we need to do is come over here to the Peely NPC and go ahead and hire him, because as you can see, Peely is actually a supply specialist, meaning that'll throw not just ammo on the ground for you, which is actually glitched and doesn't show up for some reason, but also check this out. If you pull out the shockwave grenades, have less than 6 in your inventory and hold it in your hand, Peely will start giving you shockwaves, like literally an endless supply. It's only been about a minute, and look at how many shockwave grenades he dropped. Getting Peely is far and away the most useful NPC on the island right now, so feel free to abuse this before everyone else finds out about it. Speaking of hidden secrets on the Fortnite island you may have not known about, obviously we're all familiar with the new exotic weapons introduced this season. My personal favorite being the Double Trouble shotguns, as it's not just the OG legendary pump shotgun, it also literally lets you double pump enemies and destroy them. But did you know there's a secret exotic I guarantee you didn't know about? We're just like all of the other exotics. It's once again acquired from opening up the A rank vault, meaning if we want to get our hands on it, we first need to achieve rank A. Far and away, the easiest way to do that is by defeating one of the queen bug bosses. Give me just one quick second here as I slay the queen bug herself so we can hit rank A and then get our hands on the secret exotic weapon. This bug blaster is destroying her. Look at, she's already almost dead. Oh, I think we did it. I think we did it. Yes, we defeated her. Uh-oh, that's not good. We still need to level up a little bit more to get rank A. Yes, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The mission has been accomplished. Now, give me 1 second. Let me make my way across the island to the A rank vault. Just like that, we have arrived. Now, we'll go ahead, scan our OXR rank. Now, we are going to have to get super duper lucky in order for the secret exotic to actually be present here. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got. No, gosh dang it. It's just the Eradicator OXR rifle. Not one of the other secret exotics that are in the loot pool. Likely because there's literally less than a 1% chance of any of these actually spawning. Literally being the exact same chance as the Foundation's MK7 and Reload, meaning it is incredibly rare. Hopefully, Epic Games will increase the spawn chance percentage later in the season. More importantly, as we all know, the next season of Chapter 6 is a mini season, fully themed around the animated TV show called The Simpsons. Epic Games have officially been working on developing for over a year now. There's a major teaser hidden for it right here on the Season 4 island. However, this isn't the first Simpsons teaser we've seen in the game, as we did get one years and years ago back on the Chapter 2 island, specifically at the Steamy Stacks location, that players noticed looked eerily similar to the Springfield nuclear power plant Homer Simpson works at. So Epic Games decided to add a hidden Homer reference here, literally being the donuts directly from the TV show. And with the release of Chapter 6 Season 3, the donut appeared once again, as you were able to spot this poster at Utopia City depicting the exact same donut, except this time it had a bunch of bugs crawling around it. And this poster isn't just a teaser for the upcoming Simpsons mini-season, but also functioned as a teaser for the bug invasion, months before Season 4 ever released. But trust me, you haven't seen anything yet, because as we all know, here in Season 4 the sprites were removed, likely meaning that they were eaten by the alien bugs. But there is still one major sprite secret remaining on the island that literally shouldn't be here. It all starts off with the sprite shrines. I'm sure we all remember from earlier in Chapter 6, and were incredibly useful for helping you find the sprites. Well, now with the sprites now being removed, that means they shouldn't be on the island anymore, right? Well, that's not exactly the case, ladies and gentlemen, because if you make your way over to the giant turtles right outside Outpost Enclave, on top of the turtles' back, you're literally able to find the only remaining sprite shrine on the entire island. But there literally being no sprites anywhere on the map, what happens if you go up and interact with it? All right, it sent out its little ping and pinged absolutely nothing. What the heck, dude? Epic Games, if you're gonna have a sprite shrine on the map, how about adding some sprites as well? I think we all miss them a ton. The Simpsons isn't the only iconic show with a major Easter egg, as there's another one with an even more famous movie, as well as a hidden collab with a major music artist. We'll start with the movie collab that acts as a teaser for the upcoming Disney update releasing later this year. It's been right in front of our eyes literally ever since Chapter 6 first released, because by now, I'm sure we've all stumbled across at least a few of these different robots. Go by the name the U2.0 robots. Have always been scattered across the island doing some very odd activities. Season 4 is no different. You're now able to find 2 of them at the OXR HQ, where apparently one of them got stuck in the dirt, so the other has to save them, as well as a ton of them over at the Supernova Academy, playing board games, or even trapped inside of one of the vaults. Now, we didn't realize it when these things first appeared. These are actually a reference to the iconic Disney movie called Wall-E, because in the movie, Wall-E interacts with another robot character called Eve, whose design looks incredibly similar to the U2.0 robots. And in case you're still not convinced this is a Wall-E Easter egg, listen to how Wall-E's voice sounds in the show. And now notice how similar the voice of the U2 robots are. Now, this isn't the only secret movie reference we've gotten here in Chapter 6. We saw the exact same thing happen a few seasons ago when this mysterious tree appeared on the island, surrounded by a bunch of turtle statues. This was actually a reference to another popular film, Kung Fu Panda, specifically the scene where Oogway passes away. Now, neither of these are actually official collaborations. Instead, are more so just mini Easter eggs hidden by Epic Games. The music artist's secret Easter egg is even crazier. And Epic Games have been doing this a lot lately, typically functioning as teasers for the next season of the festival mode, like we saw with Sabrina Carpenter when her microphone and mic stand appeared on the island a few months back. Now, Epic Games is doing it once again, and it's incredibly difficult to notice if you didn't know it was there. It all starts off right here. As you're able to see, we're at a brand new landmark introduced for Season 4 called Choppa Top Up. Oh dear, I'm getting lit up, bro. Calm it down, buddy. How dare you try and ruin my video? Anyways, this entire location is basically an expanded gas station with a Hammerhead Choppa spawn. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. If you actually come right up here on top of this little barrel, you're able to find a chest sitting here. It literally spawns 100% of the time. And behind it, you're able to find this little vase with the rose on top of it. And at first, this probably doesn't make any sense to you. But the secret to understanding this reference is actually the chest. Like I mentioned, it spawns 100% of the time. When you open it, it obviously gives you a gun. But then you have guns and roses literally right next to each other, being a secret Easter egg to the iconic rock band called Guns N' Roses. However, they're more than likely not actually the next festival artist, as it's recently leaked that it'll actually be Olivia Rodrigo. But while the 2 Easter eggs we just covered were intentionally added by Epic, a few Easter eggs on the island that weren't added on purpose. The first one is absolutely broken. It all starts off right over here at the new Hive location. Obviously, as we all know, you're able to find one of the new Queen Bug bosses. Once you defeat her, you not only get the Surge Medallion, but also the enhanced Wrecker Revolver pistol. But if you take a closer look at the description, you'll notice that they spelled revolver wrong. But it's not just that. They also misspelled the word coin on the Yellow Ranger's back bling. Their next mistake is way more useful because, as we all know, located at 4 different locations on the island, you're able to find these golden loot drones flying around. Whenever you shoot them, they release an insane amount of loot, always having at least 2 weapons and a ton of heals. They're actually only supposed to drop 1 weapon and 2 heals, meaning these things are broken as well. So make sure you abuse the heck out of this before Fortnite fixes it. As soon as I find more secrets, I'll tweet them all out for you guys over on my official Twitter account at HomeGamesYT.